Yo, Darium got it? Nice, nice. Bad idea on black screen. What do you mean? It's not black. What are you saying? Pinocchio? Yeah, yeah. Pikachu? That's close. Mm-hmm. Kind of looks like Caterpie to me. Oh, no. I don't know the burbs. Alright, so... the idea is that we can do a pretty long explanation run. I guess it doesn't need to be that long, but to leave as highlights or potentially put on YouTube. I don't know. See how it goes. Oh yeah, Torbsy. I love Torbsy. That's my favorite Pokemon. All right. So we got Spark Bolt Star and Magic Missile. Magic Missile's pretty good. Because straight away at the start here we can go up and grab an extra heart for free. From the orb that's up here. 1.8 kilogram bird. Yeah, that would be wild. Who got that one? Oh, it was Famion. So we can use our Magic Missile, but we can also just use our Spark Bolt. Spark Bolt digs through snow and ice pretty easily. And maybe save a few of the Magic Missiles for later. Grab our tablet here too, so we can do intervention damage. Putting my tablet on the last slot, which is also bound to R for me, so I can quickly change to tablet. Kick down any enemies. I guess I could also talk about getting extra levitation out of your potion, out of your water potion. This is pretty inconsistent, but it can work. You can use just your potion water by spraying it on top of you and flying into it, which sort of puts you in this state of swimming where it doesn't deplete your water quite as much. It is a little inconsistent, but if you got nothing else, you can get to the top there. Oh, that's so close. What else can I do with the tablet? Well, I mean, it's interesting, the things that you can do with tablet, actually. There is an achievement for getting tablets to the altar from 3 separate areas. I think they need to be certain tablets, but I guess it's worth just trying each. But there is an area, oh, not here. There is an area all the way to the left in the lake where if you bring a converted tablet, you can get into an area where you can edit your wands. I think at least one time? Oh! My head. I hit my head. It would be cool if we could fly straight over there and see that. Maybe later on. Alright, straight up. This looks a little bit better. Oh my god. Alright, well. That's it, we're gonna delete this VOD. This isn't going to YouTube, guys. We failed. Think it must be an orb room thing. So yeah, all of the tablets can give you extra information at every orb location. But that's not something that we can explain quickly.
Game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Fury has detailed videos of where to take each tablet and what they all say and what elements you need to add with each tablet. There we go. Pretty inconsistent, but you can do it. Up to 16 tries. If you get the frequency of the taps right, it works really well. Yeah. It do be a little bit of that too. So that what we just used there can also be used to get inside Holy Mountains, because it can be hard to get into back into Holy Mountain with just normal levitation. Basically, it comes down to practice and yeah, getting the frequency right. Which I know a lot of people don't like to do. Same thing with tablet kicking. People don't want to practice tablet kicking, but it'll certainly help. He just walks away. Alright, so at the moment we're doing a Noita long-ish run. Actually, I guess you could just call it a standard run, but it might go for like an hour or more. With a bit of heavy commentary, try to explain a few things that maybe a lot of people don't know. This guy plays Noita. People who don't start with water, there's always water here that falls from the top. It's melting from the snow.
My viewership keeps this channel alive! There is nobody more important to this channel than me.
You can always take a little bit of water here and convert any toxic that you find. Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about tablet kicking, that's right. One sec. So all physics objects in this game do big damage based on how fast they're moving. The thing about tablet is that you can move it, you can take it with you and throw it at whatever. The faster the tablet moves, the more damage it does. So what you can do is you can also kick it in whatever direction, add whatever. Pretty much kill it instantly. To make this easy, do kicking and throwing at the same time. For me, what I have is my kick on right click.
Drinky.
And then throw is left kick. Sorry, left click. And there's a little bit of delay in between the kick and the throw. The kick comes first. And it's one straight after the other. And then you can get the tablet moving pretty quickly. Basically like a pen clicking. And it's much easier to get a kick in a downwards direction. You can sort of see this line here of where the tablet is roughly going to go. This dotted line. That'll give you an idea. But the best way to get the tablet kill is basically anything that's just not moving straight below. Just kick it straight down. You do get trick gold a lot of the time. Sometimes it just won't give you trick gold. What happened to Radjam? Voidlord? What do you mean? Water is very important. Stay hydrated. Oh, this is a really nice early wand. That's a lot of damage. Spitterball is very strong. It does 8 damage instead of 3 that Sparkbolt does. Problem is that it doesn't have anywhere near as much range, but in this area everything is so close range that doesn't really matter. Oil is my favorite in the entire game. Nearly, it's up there with Flamuxium, honestly. Very useful. It keeps you pacifist usually. Yeah, so there's a bit of a weird thing with tablet is that a lot of the time it will count as a direct kill instead of a accidental kill. And it will take away your pacifist. And you'll notice because you'll get 1 gold instead of 2. But like, for example... like that was not a pacifist kill. We just got 1 gold for that. It's dynamite there. Same thing again, just 1 gold. Oh. 2 gold. 1 streamer. You mean the red one? But you can do the same thing. Please get off me. You can do the same thing with any physics object. You can just kick it out, kick it around and get double the gold a lot of the time. Just kill those guys. I know it shouldn't be enemy specific, but these guys will very rarely drop 2 gold regardless. When it glitches and gives you 1 gold, I think it loses pacifism somehow. Yep. Yeah, enjoy your look and your Norwegian Neko. See that one there, we did 1400 damage. I'm pretty sure. 150. Big, easy damage for a lot of larger enemies. Hopefully we'll be able to use that on things like turrets, for example, or Steve in the Holy Mountain. I won't grab Bouncy Burst because there's not really much you can do with it. The great thing about Spark Bolt, Spitter Bolt does a ton more damage. Spark Bolt actually is a tiny little explosive, so also does a tiny bit of digging against softer materials. I guess also while we're here, some hotkeys to make things a little bit easier with chip damage. Chip damage being something, for example, like toxic that you might get on you, or fire. You will lose a little bit of HP trying to wash that off. This one I got ages ago from Nike Knob. Basically, you can change your hotkey to your potion being on level 5, slot number 5 to Q, and then spray from flask also to Q. So in one action, you press Q and you're already washing yourself off. Should save you a lot of trouble. I forgot to share, whoops, I wasn't paying attention. I forgot to share my glorious death from my run last night. I guess for now I'll take 2 tablets, why not? Killed a run with a funny one yesterday, Spark Bolt with trigger into double cast homing Plasma Crosses. Plasma Cross is very strong. We already have 300 gold. I guess we'll just have a wander around for HP. I don't want whiskey because that's just going to make us drunk. I don't want Flumoxium because I'm pretty sure that this was a bug that they just left in the game. I'm not sure about Flumoxium. Maybe the guys at NOLA were drunk. So this, for example, big thing of Toxic Sludge, the water that we grabbed from the very start of the game, we just spray a little bit in here and it will just start converting. Just mix it up with some projectile. That's it, no longer a problem. That's a lot of spark bolts. I'll take that. You can put them in our red wand. Oh, I should have kept that accelerating. That might have been nice. Guess we could still drink it. I guess since we're seeing here a lot of is something called upwarping. We can talk about that a little bit, maybe if we see another Standari, but a lot of the time you can't get to one of those fire demons. But what you can do is sit just underneath him. And upwarp your flask of water into him. and make a little pool of water right at his feet, staining the Sendari and killing him basically instantly. Maybe we'll see more of those guys. You can do the same thing here if you want to convert this from underground, pretty sure. So if it does burst, then more water is likely to go everywhere. Here we go, we got double gold that time. Does toxic rock turn water into toxic sludge? That's not something that I've ever tried before, but I don't see why it would. And the thing is, if you have water in the vicinity anyway, it's going to be turning into water faster. I got a little bit greedy there because I wanted the money from Trick Gold, but still okay. 678. Pheromone can be nice. Always just wait for all of this to stop. Acid from those acid dudes, their bodies will leak for a while. Wow, even more acid. Sure, I'll take that. Acid could be a good boss killer, but to be quite honest, we won't really have much trouble with the boss. If we move further to the left here, then we do have a slightly harder area. The bigger problem being with this area to the left of the mines is that there'll be frogs that look just like this, maybe a little clump of grass, and then they'll jump into you and do 10 damage, 20 damage, 30 damage, depending. Very quickly. Throw fire into fire skulls? True. So I guess, at the risk of dying like an idiot and not finishing this run, we should move on. But basically, we're just trying to reveal as much as we can. Maybe we'll end up coming back. Normally, you would see a lot more HP ups. I guess we've been a little bit unlucky. So I will change to spark bolts in this one because I do want a little more range in this next area. And this shoots quite fast, that's a lot of damage. Spitter bolts are nice though. What kind of one do you? It's actually pretty good, it's too bad it's a shuffle. If you do come down here with a lot of HP, I would recommend leaving the heart first and then keeping it as a backup to heal. To get a lot of really good things. We'll explain why. I will personally just take exploding corpses because it gives us explosion immunity. It sucks a little bit because maybe we won't have the corpses of polymages or something like that when we kill them. There are ways around that, such as tablet killing, which will count as a kill not by us, so they won't explode. But it's a bit risky, but what we have here is a way out of Holly Mountain. Chainbolt is really good for fungal caverns, which is the harder area to the left of the coal pits. This will one-shot a lot of the enemies, basically trivializing the challenge in fungal. But if we want to get out of Holly Mountain and back in, we can just teleport right now. Whoop. Problem is it'll teleport us 3 times. Bigger problem is that it might teleport us straight into acid or something. That's interesting. Nearly just lost the run to whatever this is supposed to be. But we're still here.
Son, y'all are cunts. You're all cunts, you know that? Hi, Siva, where were you? I didn't see you there. Oh, hello, dude.
Yeah, we're keeping that in. Hi, Zeri. What's up, Rage Twin? This must be a daytime dunk stream. Yeah, it is a bit dunk-like. Alright, very strong projectile. I won't recommend anyone use it ever. I think the reason that we survived there is because we had explosion immunity. Otherwise, it probably would have done a lot more damage. If you hit us with 2 of those, that's big damage. So that could have easily been instant death. I should have explained before I broke this up. This is one of those things that Solar always points out, and I forgot what the fuck the name is. A formation in the mines. So a lot of the time there'll be a piece of wood like this, and then directly underneath it, there'll be coal. There's about a 30% chance that there will be either a chest or a heart in the coal below this bit of wood here. Yeah, it's a solar formation, TM. Yeah. Make sure to trademark that. So I'll hold on to this because we might use the speed up. This is a damn good song that no one on YouTube will hear, I'm sorry. So that was just one of the ways to get out of Holy Mountain and also back in. Let's see where this takes us. Can we get in? Oh, and then it took us over the top. Not terrible. You can do the same sort of thing with just a circle of teleportatium. You can actually sort of guide it by flying up and pointing up. You've got a much higher chance of teleporting up. Not very consistent though. All right, and I'll maybe keep this here as a backup. This is pretty bad. Other thing, of course, is Luminous Drill, which breaks through even the Holy Mountain material, so you can just break out. The reason why you might not want to break out is because maybe you don't want to deal with Steve. But we've got our tablet here, which is big damage, as long as we make sure to hit him very quickly before he can really hurt us. And that's exactly what we'll do. So your wands in Holy Mountain? Yeah, we could do that too. I forgot that that's a thing now. That's a recent change. What up, Oregon?
I'm done. I'm done. I'm seriously done.
What up, Dad Wrestler? Welcome in, Oregon. How was the Strimble? You were also playing Noita? Oh, I'm sorry. Alright, a recent change because the devs decided to start fixing bugs. You used to be able to just chuck your wand over here and you could animate it, make a billion ghosts, then kill it with tablets. And make a lot of money. We won't go into that. But instead, what they decided to do to sort of like fix it, but still politely nod at us. You can fill this area up with pheromone, chuck your wand in, and based on how what the tier of the wand is, it'll give you money back as long as you chuck it in without any spells on it. It was an infinite money glitch, yeah. So this one, I think this will just give us 100 or 200. I guess we'll see. It works, everybody. Flawless. What about this one? Also, always cast ones don't work. Yeah, apparently this doesn't work. As you get kicked, you learn how to deal with it. Keith, you okay? Oh, you're making chili? Throw them up, says Fan. It works. I haven't even done this before. Eat them and then vomit them? Clean the ground? Oh my god, are you telling me that's my job to clean the ground? Alright, so this already seems pretty not worth it if you have to clean the ground in the first Holy Mountain. Oh! Okay, that worked. It gave us 400. Aha! So the first one was a tier 2, so that gave us 400. The second one was a tier 1, and it gave us 200. So we had to do it on the lowest part. We had to make sure that it was really submerged. Try shooting acid everywhere? Yeah, that's true. We could try that. I don't mind that idea. Pyro says it takes a few times. Bottom should be straight or something. Flat ground. Okay, cool. There is cleaner spots in Holy Mountain, says Rational. Okay, well this is all good to know. 200 gold per tier. Yeah. Alright. Well, at least it ended up working, so we can at least have a record of doing that. Alright, so... I love said we have to spray acid everywhere, so we gotta do that real quick. I guess we'll do it right here. Piss off Steve. We bonked him real good. Easy as that. Okay, so let's grab a little bit more acid. I actually did this for a reason, because I want to get out easily. And then be able to come back and edit whenever I want to. I may use this against Colmy. It's a pretty good boss killer. So, if this clears ever, I always just make an effort to convert any toxic sludge because it's pretty annoying. So this area right here is where we cannot go through, otherwise we'll crumble the mountain. It's just this square. Everywhere else is absolutely fine. If you go into this square, then you won't be able to edit when you come back. And the area will actually damage you for 20 to 30 seconds or something like that. So we've made a nice little hole here. Now... Did I want to take the chamber with me just in case? Maybe I'll just chuck luminous drill for digging. Good thing about luminous drill is that it goes through steel. Or metal. Whatever harder materials. Any material in the game, basically, luminous drill can eventually dig through. There usually isn't mud in that spot, says I love. Gotcha. Remember to stay hydrated, Streamler. You're talking a lot.
Eat a chip.
Thanks, Frowler. Here. I will have a chip. And we will do mumbles. I may or may not edit it. Alright, where are we at? So this entire area is basically just a huge gold farm, as long as you can find something to dig with. We, of course, don't have anything to dig with yet. Except a very slow luminous wand. Just bonk that guy. Kill his children. Drink their blood a little bit. Can blow that up to get through the wood. Oh, you guys tried to vote yes? Silly. We've got acceleration there. Get rid of that guy first, because he's easily more annoying. Always converting wherever we can. Now, I really want to get in there. It's going to be slow going though. And I don't want to break the accelerating. Throw away one of these. Nice. What up, Yeti? How you doing? Yeah, exclamation point play, you nearly got in. Now, with the accelerating or any other material that you want to spray on you, if you do need to use it quickly, if you want to quickly get away from an enemy, like with accelerating, you can just hit in the menu, right click on the potion, and it will give you about 20 seconds of speed. Same thing with Berserkium or whatever. Now, we already don't have a lot of HP. Having said that, you can drink for 20 seconds, but you should get more lifetime out of what you spray on yourself than what you drink. And you need to use a lot less to get it. So like if you were heading to the desert pyramid, you would just keep spraying it on yourself instead. Drinking is easy. It's a nice reaction-based use. Is that right? Yeah, that'll do. Oh my goodness. We set up hotkeys to spray ourselves with a juice box and we didn't use it. I personally can't be bothered going to get the gold if it's drenched in slime. And we've got nearly 2 grand already because we sold a few wands with the pheromone. I guess it's a good thing to remember. You don't need every little bit of gold. You don't need to dive into every situation, acid or slime or whatever, to get, you know, 10 gold. A lot of the time, just leave it. Just leave it and move on. There'll be more. We did see a concerned mother down here, but he decided to fall down, so that's great for us. The reason why I kept this luminous drill so that we could get into areas like this. So this is why we put on the spark bolt, because we've got the range. This guy will never get to us, because he has to be quite close to use his tentacle. Always just gotta remember that we always have, well, basically the only thing that you have in Noita is time and patience. If you try to do everything quickly, then you probably will make mistakes and you probably will die. So just take a little bit of time to murder all the enemies that you need to. Always trying to leave your backside open so that you don't get cornered. I can't see myself using this, especially because the wand stats are so bad, but the always cast is kind of interesting. Missile is pretty expensive normally. That's whiskey, that's teleportating. That's Poly. Poly can be good to get out of Holy Mountain without crumbling it as well, but we decided to blow it to pieces with acid. Hope you're doing well, Sholar. So these guys, this is probably why we should have held on to Chainbolt, because Chainbolt will just home in on all these idiots and basically trivializes the enemy. Take some of that slime. Delish. But we're in no rush, right? We're just waiting for them to come to us and we're taking them out one by one. There will be way too many of these. And there will be probably a lot of gold that we won't pick up, but that's fine. We're just trying to keep an eye out for anything that might fuck us. Worm pheromone can be great in the snowy area. Just for finding worms. They'll attract them to you, then a lot of the time the bigger ones can drop hearts. If you can be bothered killing them. So pretty scary enemy normally, but he can't do anything to us. Now these guys, assholes. Blinding mages. Another thing that were just left in the game by accident. Pretty sure Nola didn't mean to. That's okay, Nola, I won't blame you for it. We all make mistakes. Should we see how this goes? Missile can't hurt me, can it? I think it can. I might just leave that. This would normally be an okay way to dig because we've got so many of them in a one that can actually keep on firing. Firebolts. Is the VOD command broken? Interesting. I wonder why that didn't work for you, Rational. That's weird. Explosion immunity makes that interesting. Ginteresting. I'm not having a stroke, I promise. Yeah, I'm not sure why a lot of the commands aren't just coming up in chat. I'm wondering if I made us accidentally click the has to be mod setting permission or something. But yeah, a lot of those Rain World VODs and stuff will be kept on that VOD channel. Teleport guys are also pretty annoying. Bee wand. It looks like a bee. You can't tell me otherwise. But we got Plasma Cutter on here. It's very, 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 very strong. Basically a better Luminous Drill. This guy I'm just going to poke in the brain. Oh, never mind, he ran away. Flamoxium, and Invisiblium. Invisiblium is actually really strong. Someone drops some poly. So I can go through here safely, but I just won't. You can just avoid shit situations if you want to. You can just go around. Can I get through here? Nice. So what do we got here? If we try to fire this, it's immediately going to go back in our face because of heavy spread. Heavy spread gives it a 360 degrees fire spread, or 720 even, more than 360. Which means that it will just default back into your face because that's how the game works. If you need to reach out, you should probably press pause. Avoiding shit situations. Write that down. So we found one pretty good thing here. Guess also if we want to be able to use this wand, we can also just take it back to Holy Mountain. Shouldn't take us too long. Since we've got the accelerating.
Mudpunk.
Budbug. What up, Budbug? This I will just slowly go through because it's going to make it easy to come back. Bum, 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 bum. Will this be on the test? It will be on the test, yeah. So you better watch yourself. Alright. Pens out. Notepads out. This is another formation that could... So that guy stopped in for a split second just to hit me with teleport, which actually just made us go back to Holy Mountain faster, so thank you. Oh, right, I won't be using any of these, but I might use the always cast missile. Or, the only reason I wanted it was to get rid of gas, so maybe I will just put fire on one of these projectiles. And then what I'm going to do here is use plasma cutter instead of... Actually, no, we'll hold on to that. Get rid of this. I'm not likely to use this because we're not speedrunning. Keep one spitter bolt, couple of spark bolts. Speed up can be nice. Doubles, don't need that. This I'll just demonstrate in the next, in fungal. We probably shouldn't go back to fungal because we're pretty damn low. But just to demonstrate chain bolt and how good it is. Just hit a PB in Rocket League rank. Oh my goodness. Everyone go follow BB-Ace. Join BB-Ace's Discord. Follow him on YouTube, he does good shorts. Send him DMs. Ask him how he's going. Very important. I'm pretty sure also water will slowly get rid of slime. That's another thing that's kind of cool. Creating stalkers since 1989. Yeah. True. Because I was just such a good looking kid. People were stalking me. So I've got more than enough probably to go on to the next zone. But we'll poke a little bit more. Hopefully we don't get effed. So we've got chain bolt. Chain bolt will sort of very lazily home in on a lot of enemies. Pretty good range. This wand is terrible because it's only got 10 mana recharge, but I guess you get the idea. But if those little potatoes come back, we can take them out pretty quickly with chain bolt. I guessed your birth year? You got it so close, BB-Ace. Nice one. Keeping that in the VOD. Fire also really strong against mushrooms. This one's got a stain on it, so we won't be able to burn it, but... if they do catch fire, they basically will explode instantly. Nice. Don't have to deal with that. Get rid of that because it's just kind of annoying. Again, just using our range because we've got tons of it. We'll use this to get through steel. Just kidding. So the secret to using something like, wow, good stats. A lot of mana recharge. Pretty high recharge time, but pretty quick recharge. Secret to using something like plasma, which a lot of people shy away from, is you just have to get used to not walking into your projectile. Obviously you want to use it on a trigger if you can, but just keep your surroundings in mind. I recommend that everyone use plasma all the time, and then you just become used to that mindset, right? Just never walking into your projectile. Alright, here we go. Chain bolt. Taking care of potatoes pretty easily, right? Same thing with him. An enemy that would be pretty annoying otherwise. Just removed from the game. Yo, what up, Bam? How you doing? BBA says he's 91 and he's pretty sure Sheeps is older, so 88, yeah, that's how that works. All I know is that you're both younger than Mudpunk? Oh my god. That's what we're doing, we're just guessing everyone's age. Okay, so... oh, he teleported out of here. You can burn teleportate him if it's being annoying. I think it's easier like this. I feel like I'm gonna get myself murdered. So, another thing, firebomb, also decent digging. It just doesn't go through steel, but pretty good. Try not to stand on it because it will light you up. What do you got? Not great. Not a great one, not a great projectile. And we'll light... whoops. Chain bolt can also go through materials. If it's fired in the right way. Don't fire it directly at the enemy and it will home in over hard materials. We'll one-shot this guy. Chamber really, really common. Okay, it's just the same projectile. Maybe we'll just move on. Once we start getting too deep in here, then it's becomes more difficult to come back. More chance that we'll get cut off from behind. Just check you. Pretty ordinary wand, kind of okay projectile, but I don't think we need it. We've got this for digging instead. He can't even get us. If we wanted to fight him, we just use our range. Have a quick dip. Resist the urge to shift because 95% of the time it's gonna go wrong. Enjoy the food prep. I'm doing alright. Recovering from being ill. Oh my god. Merp's dying. Can you only sell ones in Holy Mountain? I don't see why. I don't see why it would only be in Holy Mountain. It would be any pool of pheromone. This one being tier 1, so we'd get 200 for it. I'm gonna hold on to this for some digging. We'll keep using this for range. We're also setting enemies on fire, so that's nice. Just grab that now. 170 HP is okay. Another speed up is nice. So we've got a Steve to deal with here, and there's a couple ways that we can go about it. I'll try, I guess, the one that's easier for anyone to do. We'll bring him over to a statue that I hope spawned in the game. Sometimes it just doesn't spawn because Nola just hates fun. We'll wait for him to get right above us. We'll kick at the heel, at the base of the statue. Bam. Not a problem. We'll also give him a bath. Stinky skeleton. And instead of my triple scatter, because it comes with spread, I'll grab triple spell. It's a bit more expensive, but it's worth it. For the sake of this run, I think I'll just take extra life so we can complete this in one go. We might get Noited, and I don't want that to happen. I should explain boomerang spells and the strength of it. Heavy commentary. What's up, handsome? Yeah. There used to be a Dota 2 streamer called Barney. I mean, he's still around. That used to do Dota 2 with heavy commentary. And Hanselmo, yeah, Hanselmo used to watch him as well. Boomerang spells is kind of a weird one. Basically, it does make the spells come back and shoot you. But for every spell that you fire together, gets a damage multiplier. So you'll get like a pretty big boost of damage, similar to concentrated spells, with 2 spark bolts fired at the same time. Same thing with 3, and with 4, you're talking about a big damage multiplier, with no extra modifiers at all. Just boomerang spells by itself. Just basically easy win in terms of just free damage. Problem is that it will make things like Plasma Cutter come back in our face, so that, you know, that rules that out. If I was to fire these, then they would set us on fire all the time, so it's a different kind of playstyle. It also gives lifetime to projectiles, so it would make our Luminous Drill fire out like this far, basically. It would if anyone's ever used Ping Pong, Increased Lifetime, Spiral Arc, any of those will increase the lifetime of Luminous Drill, and it'll increase the velocity and make it shoot across the screen, basically. Same sort of thing happens with boomerang spells. It's very strong. Don't know how old you are, but if you're under 35, if you're dying, just wait. One day you'll kneel down to pick up something, and then when you get back up, it'll sound like you're walking into a forest you fall. Oh my god. Alright, so the other one here is Satakivi, which is great if you want to do long runs, because it'll basically dig a huge hole in the entire earth depending on how far you are down. So I guess I would take this all the way to the bottom of the stage, fire it like right here, so throw it down and then kick it, and then fire a laser right through this whole area, so you can get in and out of every single holy mountain. You can also get all the way to the top. After you do that, just make sure that you still don't go through this cracked square, because otherwise the holy mountain will crumble. Because we want to make it to the end of the run, I'll just, for safety, I'll take that extra life. We've already killed Steve, so I'm going to bust out of here so I can keep coming back and editing. There is actually a safe way to get out of Holy Mountain with Black Hole that doesn't trigger Steve. If we get that. If we get a Black Hole, I'll do that too. None of these are really going to help me all that much. Giga Black Hole can be pretty funny. Does okay damage, mostly to the player. What up, Vidu? Almost every joint in my body can be cracked. I'm like a walking bag of sticks. Oh me goodness. Are you using healing crystals at all, Mudpunk? Have you tried anything from Gwyneth Paltrow? I don't know if I said that right. Thanks for the chippy. Alright, so the game really likes to put Uko right outside of Holy Mountain. not this time. But just something to keep in mind. We'll break all this because it's just in the way. But we've got our range here, so a lot of these enemies will die before they even get to us. Big problem that is in this area is snipers though. Snipers do have the range. They can shoot you off the screen. You just got to make sure that you keep moving, right? You can't hit us as long as we keep moving. Vertically, I should say. He'll just keep trying. Keep an eye out for the red laser. He can shoot through the soft material. That's one thing to keep an eye on. Anyway, he'll be back. I'll blow this up because this is obviously a huge problem if we run into it. Any minute now. Go for something closer. Gorgeous. Got concentrated mana there, which I guess I won't use just yet. Do we have song requests? Oh no, we ran out. Alright, what can I put on? I could just put an album on. Unless anyone wants to request any music. Appreciate it. Give the smoke and the freezing vapor a way to get out of here so we can just check this wand. It's pretty useless. Earthquake shot is another thing that can be used to get in and out of Holy Mountain. So it'll turn all of this into collapsed concrete instead of the brickwork. And then anything can break through what's been collapsed, right? So once you've done this one time, you can just shoot with spark bolt to get through a lot of this stuff. So that can be okay with Earthquake. Other than that, I won't be using arrow because you can hit yourself with it. Thanks for the song requests. But this area, it does suck. It really sucks. There's too many enemies at once a lot of the time. There's a lot of things they can shoot you from other... Well, I say a lot of things, but what I mean is that there's a lot of snipers. So I do recommend going all the way to the right-hand side or the left-hand side. Right-hand side is a bit easier, and then just dropping down. So you can't get cornered because from one side they can't even see you. Or they can't get you because they'll be collapsed. What's it called? Just brickwork. Just using our range to take care of everything. We will have a damage problem soon. Let's change to this. Whoops. Always try to keep the same kind of wands and the same kind of hotkeys. At least that works for me. Try to get into the habit of checking your wands first before you fire them. There could very well be an Uko just sitting here, so just make sure that you're listening for that. Just peek a little bit and see what's up. I've got exploding corpses, so... Rapoid destroyed our pheromone. It's fine, we don't want it. Could, for example, demonstrate that you can get in and out of Holy Mountain with Poly. Oh, really good digging. Of course, I had to put acid on there. But Energy Orb is really good. I'll just stick through with this. Pheromone? Did I say pheromone or poly? Poly. Oh my goodness, can someone request Merper song. Streamer corrected himself. Now I don't have to unfollow. Okay, so we don't have poly to showcase this, but if you are polyed into anything that can get through here, then you can climb through this section and not destroy the holy mountain and then come back and edit. Because you're not classed as the player. Only the player can break this. Steve can't break it, other enemies, nothing else. Only you. Okay, so we'll take this off. I've already got one. This is pretty insanely good digging, but the one sucks. So I don't need these anymore because we've got really, really good digging. Can fire 4 of these? 3 of these. It's got an inverted mana, so mana max is 100, but the recharge is 515. Really strong. I will also put speed up on there. We're going to be digging pretty quickly. It's because Rational did. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Moobot not giving people information. Same thing with Nightbot. That annoyed me. That made me angry. So the only thing this won't go through is your really hard materials like brickwork or steel. But everything else is just fine. To the left, instead of going to the right, you've got the Magic Temple. Magic Temple spawns much more difficult enemies to deal with, so I guess avoid that if you can. Just keep using our range here. Always cast Personal Gravity Field is actually pretty strong. It doesn't work so well with Spitball. We'll just leave this behind. The mana recharge is not that great. Just keep shooting him and he won't have time to shoot back because you'll keep knocking him off balance. Blow up any explosives that you can so that we don't have to deal with any of those. It's always worth... Okay, this structure is important. Structure. These 2 pieces of metal is a formation. Solar 9 formation. Underneath this material here, there can be just buried heart. There's a 30% chance or whatever. So just always check roughly in this area. What a nice song. So here, we've reached the right-hand side. We've got the dense rock. We can just keep heading down here. And fucking die to Uko. Because, why not? Thank God we got explosion immunity. Uko. Yeah, the explosion immunity saved us there. Otherwise he basically would have one-shot us. The tablet got him though. That's why we got that extra life as well, because we're probably gonna... So like, that's just something that you can't do anything about, right? You can walk up to here, you can be not playing with music, and you can hear for electricity. Be hearing for electricity and keep an eye out for Uko, but... That would have been a death that you just go, okay, whatever, new game. Don't throw your fucking flask, by the way. Okay, so I guess before we get away here, got a backup flask. I drank the worm pheromone. Hopefully it brings some worms to us. Worms are good because they can drop hearts, but they can also give us worm blood, which will give you wormy vision, which is all-seeing eye. If you're unsatisfied with the area, the run so far, you can go all the way back up to the start of the game. What's up, Sharknot? Hope you've been well. to the right hand side and go all the way back to the start of the game, if you like. Now that we've got really good digging, we can really go through that first mines area. And pick up any extra hearts, chests. We can pick up extra gold if we want to. We've got way too much gold to even think about that. I would stop about here and then flutter over to the left hand side and go up from there, because it starts to get a little bit harder on the right hand side. RNR racing was so good. RNR racing? Get rid of that. They put a bridge here because they want you to head over the right hand side and think that it's totally safe and you can grab an orb over here and a tablet, but we're not going to do that because once you come back it spawns a very difficult boss. We do have plasma to kill that boss, but I'm not happy with this setup. I don't have teleport or anything to get away. Lava, not actually a problem. We can just turn the top of it into hard rock with a little bit of water. Wow. You don't have to turn the whole surface into rock, but why not? And we're back. Pick up a little bit more of this. Now this first area is completely trivialized. We can go wherever we want to. All that early game crap doesn't matter, right? Oh, maybe we can upwarp. Try upwarping on this guy. I need a lot more water actually, but he likes to move. And we're out of water. Alright, there should be plenty more though. No! Okay, there we go. That's the one that we converted before. Delicious. Shiba, did you play? Well, I did not read that sentence properly at all. Oh, Rock and Roll Racing is a very good game. God damn. Back on Sega Genesis. Damn good game. Shiba, you should play Rock and Roll Racing one day, local co-op, but I'm sure any online emulator would allow for remote. Dude, if we could play together, that'd be really fun. The music in that game is top notch. Alright, what happened to Stendari? He had enough of our shit and he moved on. What up, Blazing Jack? He did, he ran away. Because he knew that we had everything we needed to take him out. I don't have a light spell to get into the dark cave area, but it would be a good idea to show you guys that you can get up there. Can get through the dark cave with a little bit of wormy blood. We've got pretty good digging. Bonus firestone for no reason. Awesome. Here for the heavy commentary. Is it heavy enough? Alright, so to the left of the very starting area, there is always an egg here. There's a pretty good chance that it's going to be a worm. Could also be something else like a spooter or whatever. We got a big one. which is very rare, but that's good for us. He is actually on fire, so he'll die very quickly. We might just get a heart from this guy. Oh my goodness, the luck. And look at all this delicious blood. This is what we wanted in the snowy area. Because we drink enough of this, and we get all-seeing eye around our character. We're just trying not to go over 99 satiation. Because otherwise we move slow. But I got 440 seconds of all-seeing eye. So we can see all these areas that we shouldn't be able to see. So this... bit more pheromone, I guess. Wait, I thought Shiba was... thought Shiba was going to copy the voice of the TF2 Heavy character. I never played TF2. I played Titanfall 2, but not Team Fortress 2. Have to go take a train. I wish you all a nice dream. See you later, JP. This can be good for shit, for reasons that we'll probably go over later. Take the unstable teleportating with us. So we would not normally be able to see in here, but because we've got the wormy vision, we know exactly where everything is. This position here, this can be a full heal or it could be a plus 25 HP. Just try and create little pockets to breathe as we go down. Here we go. And then down here or in any other location here, this area will always be random. So it used to be that you used to come here and every single time it would be the same, but the dark area now has about 4 or 5 different layouts. So it's not something that you can memorize. I guess if you're really big brain, you could be like, I know this exact 1 out of the 5 layouts. I know exactly where I'm going. But I can't be bothered with that. So then I'll just dig through here. I'll take the full heal now because I don't think that we're going to come back. And then I'll save the full heal from the Hisi base area. I won't go over into the wizard's den area and talk about the wizard because I'm not really confident with that damage. To be quite honest. This guy here, just don't even worry about him. He's stuck there, forget him. Not a problem. Back into the first holy mountain. You can still edit because we broke out of here. Some people can do that. I can't even remember what I ate for lunch today. Guys, what did BBA eat for lunch today? We gotta find out. Still got our wormy vision so we can see all of this. You'll probably find that there are a lot more hearts that you missed. This thing, just stay away, just shoot from a distance. You don't need to go close to it. It won't spawn anything if you don't go close. Sparkbolt is your best friend. Just keep shooting until it dies. That's it. Completely trivialize the problem. Just with a little bit of distance. Always try to convert any toxic I can, because why not? It's annoying. We can see everything coming, so this does make it possible for us to go into the dark cave on the left-hand side. I don't think I will bother. Our damage is pretty crap. Oh. Something else to note, this also would have helped us see in the dark. In that dark cave. Yeah, toxic annoying, guys. It would be nice to find a bit of a better wand. I think I can also just put these two on the same wand. It's still a very slow wand. But I can make it shoot slightly faster. Get off me. So we're going to use the luminous drill because not only does it dig through every material in the game, but it also reduces cast delay and recharge time. So we put this right at the start of our wand. And this will just shoot a little bit faster. Does make it a bit more expensive. So already better, right? Always trying to put the luminous drill at the start of our one because we were trying to fire it twice by this one people will probably have to chime in a little bit with because wrapping is weird, but we're firing it once, the multicast is making it wrap around, start the wand again and fire the luminous drill again. You can see how it's flickering twice. It's basically firing two wands, right? We could get into wrapping a little bit more if we find a chainsaw or a better wand and we can talk about speeding up wands properly. But if you have a chainsaw or a luminous drill, just put it before the multicast and try and get it to take on a couple of projectiles and come back around and grab the luminous drill again. Yeah, where's the goddamn chainsaw at? Luminous drill's still... It's a nearly chainsaw. Let's see what we can find. Another shuffle wand. Just use our range gear, keep taking care of these guys. There's one of those, just a wormy guy. Giving us more blood. Welcome back, Yofi. I do want to keep drinking that guy's blood because it's a delicious elixir. Not sold on the market. I would like way more ingredients. Alright, here we go. We got tablet. Let's tablet kick this guy. We're just going to line it up. I'll just go straight above him. We'll kick straight down with the tablet and knock him out. Boom. 1172 damage, just like that. Here's another formation. This one's a bit harder to remember from this side. Can be a heart or a chest in here. Bit easier to recognize on the left-hand side of here. The solar formation is a smooching gorilla. It's definitely a smooching gorilla. It's Donkey Kong. Keep shooting this guy and he can't shoot us. Well, he has a much lower chance of hitting us because he's being barraged. So I'm going to demonstrate the lifetime increase that's on orbiting arc with our luminous drill. One of the examples of increasing lifetime on luminous drill. It's not going to be very powerful because this wand is kind of slow, but still it's something. So if you can get this to shoot much quicker, then we've got a little bit of range. We can dig a lot better. But that is one of the spells that can increase lifetime. It's a lot more obvious on a luminous drill. Maybe I'll just chuck it on here for no reason. We'll just keep it there. Delicious. Barraged. playing Noita by the book, where there's already tons of things that we've already missed, but I am trying not to make this run too long. Definitely want to find that worm. You can see where he's been.
Drinky, drinky.
Using our range. Dead worm. This another worm that dropped another heart. Incredible. We'll try and make some blood. Another reason the chainsaw is really good is because it has a gore multiplier, I guess, and it will make a lot more blood. Where's my chainsaw? So what do we got here? Kind of a nice wand, but it is a shuffle. I'll head to the left just to show that we can see into the dark cave and what might be there, but also reasons to just not go there. Just keep using our range. Triplicate also has a gore effect, so if you fire triplicate into worms, they'll create a lot of blood. I found that out from Best Bud originally. Thanks, board. Ooh, God. Well, that could have been scary. We've got a lot of HP, so it shouldn't have been too much of a problem, but... Same thing again, I'll just use range against... Oop, go. Trying not to get shot in the back. Shoot it until it dies. Just check to make sure that nothing can come from behind. Even if he shoots at us, he doesn't have a very good chance of hitting us. We've got plenty of time to react. It was a shotgun guy? Yeah. So Uko, same as the Hisi, can also pick up wands. I would say that Uko might even be less dangerous while he's holding a wand. To be honest. Just keep shooting his babies. Can't really do much to us. But the wormy vision really making this a lot easier. So we come to the left hand side here, and then just up a little bit there'll be the magic temple, where independent wands spawn, already charmed, and they'll fire at whatever they've got in their wand without any mana cost. So if they've got the end of everything, they will cast it. Can get through this material with just the energy orbs. Oh god. Oh god. Magic missile pretty dangerous. Oh my god. We've got explosion immunity, otherwise we would probably have used one of our lives already. It's big damage. So it's a pretty good wand, pretty good stats, but it's shuffle, so no go. So for that reason, I won't go in any further. So you can head in there, but do be careful. So we've got 170 HP. We picked up the HP from the top of the world, so we don't need to really worry about picking this up right now. We're going to break out of here. I'll take this and this, because we're going to heal ourselves for free. Don't need chain bolt anymore. Okay, we got another Steve that we need to take care of. Just keep moving up and down so his projectiles keep missing. He hates fish. No one knows why. Try and do this again. Kick it at the base and straight up. I'm actually surprised that worked twice. Into the water. So instead of picking up either of these, we're going to use Healing Bolt. On just a timer on a completely flat surface. To make it easy, we'll go all the way to the right here. Shooting straight up on a timer. The timer hits the surface and it shoots a healing bolt back at us. You're probably going to miss a few, but as long as you stay still for a bit, you'll get it pretty close. Heals for about 6 or 8? 7. Easy. Since we're here and we're talking about healing bolt, I might as well. Really easy way to use this is to fall into it in a big pool of water. You want to fire it just as you hit, but it's also easy to do coming up out of water. Probably more so right before you drop. We fall into the healing bolt and we get a heal that way. You can do it in the water and just go up into it. Need about this much water for it to be viable. So, don't need the trigger. I just think it's easier with a trigger or timer. I got a lot of stuff here. Let's do this. Hold shift and click any of these. And it will just take it into whatever wand you've got selected. Get off me. Put the speed ups back. Put the multicast here. I think this is too many energy orbs, so we'll get rid of them. That's pretty good digging. Cool. Also still got this to get through metal, but we don't really need it. All these really are pretty underwhelming. We still have not a great wand. We're going to need some damage here, so I think I might just combine all of these. And let that be our damage instead. Can move this a bit ahead. I can put a triple here, put a double here. For safety's sake, we're just going to up our damage, remove the speed ups. Chuck this here. Putting the Luminous Drill at the start with a double, and then our payload, right? It's not great damage, but it's the best that we've got right now. Dun, 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 dun. I think I can make this tiny bit better. Maybe we won't shoot quite as fast. And just use the extra damage that comes from orbiting arc. Because it will also add 3 damage to all of these projectiles. Then I can add a speed up to get a little bit more range. Take those. We've got unstable teleportating that we can use to get into the eye room or the hourglass room. So we'll definitely check that out. What up, D-Tusk? Managed to kill my first Steve today. Was happy as frick. Hell yeah. So we're kind of on borrowed time here, right? Because in the next Holy Mountain, it won't be a normal Steve. It'll be his big brother, Scott. So we need a big damage boost to get through that. I think to make my life a little bit easier, I'll just take Toxic. But maybe because I've got so much money, we can reroll and get something else. Wow. Item Raider. Pretty good. Pretty damn good. Hopefully that'll lead us towards some hearts. Our Wormy Vision has run out, so we can't see any extra hearts or chests now. Item radar, pretty damn good. Circle spell that transforms Steve into a sheep. I think Scott might be polyimmune. Sub expires in a minute. Oh, I'm sorry, Logi. We love you. So I will always hold on to Plasma Cutter because we can get through all this material very, very quickly. We're doing okay damage here. Assuming that it actually hits the enemy. Two-shotting toasters is pretty nice. If we get any homing, then I'll probably just upgrade to plasma, to be honest. Yo, what? And built-in boomerang? Holy shit. Alright. Alright, well, yeah. Heavy shot slows the projectile, but adds 44 damage to each one of these. Then I guess we can speed it up a little bit. And maybe just do this, do this, so it fires a little bit faster. Take this off, turn it into a triple instead, and add an extra spark bulb. We're doing 150-ish damage per shot, and we're shooting pretty quickly. I don't recommend that anyone ever use these except against the boss. Rich Portal is pretty strong against Colmy. But we've got always cast Boomerang here, which is kind of nice with Healing Bolt. Hopefully one is strong enough to get back at the player. Yeah. Easy heal. If we need to. Can also pick up an extra spell refresh. Skirt is immune to freeze, electric, poly, and drowning and fire. Yeah. So Polly pretty good against Steve, but not Scott. Skewed. We're gonna head straight right. Right or left. We're doing a lot of damage. The problem is that we're not doing very good damage against enemies that might have shields. You really want something that shoots very quickly to get through shields. I'm gonna put an energy orb on here just to blow up canisters first try. And then we need to think about what we don't need here. Because once I get into the spell area, I will... Oh yeah, we can just keep multicasts here, because why not? Speed up. It's not hurting anyone. But yeah, keep the energy orb to blow up the... What are they called? Freezing vapor tanks. Oh my god. Alright, well we got big damage now. Explosive projectile on a luminous drill. For reasons that aren't really 100% clear to me, but basically Luminous Drill already has an explosion size. And once an explosion gets over a certain radius, such as with Explosive Projectile, then it does 320 base damage. This applies to Luminous Drill and only a few other spells. Self-harming explosive projectile payloads on my run 2 right now? Hell yeah. Hard to judge here. Because the dummy is actually really not the greatest place to test your damage. But if something gets hit by this luminous drill with the explosive projectile, it will do pretty big damage. Now, this can also come back and hit the player. We're okay though, because we've got exploding corpses. Sad I can't run with quality of life mod for DPM tests as I'm working on achievements. Yeah. Yeah, I wish they had a normal dummy for testing. Just in the base game. The dummy that they've got has never been great. Big damage there. Basically, blow up everything before it can blow us up. Take your time, wait for vapor. We are not fire immune though. Can get through any of this, it's not really a problem. I should probably equip just a normal energy orb to get around. Cool. There's that one piece of snow there that's protecting them. Flumuxium everywhere because this place sucks. Nice, we got a heart. We'll keep this turret alive, it only shoots one way. I might be able to demonstrate why. Try to get rid of that shotgun guy. Electricity with nothing attached to it. Bum, 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 ba, bum, bum, bum. All right, blow that up. Try to. It's not the explosion that can hurt us, but the freezing vapor is just kind of annoying, so I blow up everything before it gets to us. So it looks like the store is on the left-hand side, but that's fine. The flumuxium in the blood is creating unstable poly. This is actually not the worst poly because it just turns you into a Hisi boy. Hisi boys won't shoot other Hisi boys. I better read some chat. Said I can't run with it. Oh, I already read that. You'd think it'd become the prior to fix once the trillion damage one came out, and they were doing them. True. Hey, can I put cheers on 70 fee for Blaylala? What? You can do it's your remote. You do whatever you want with it. Do you know if you can negate the EP? Negate the EP damage with the heavy spreads. Seems not to be making a dent, but I could be screwing up my order. EP delay with heavy spreads. You should be able to. Heavy spread has always been a really weird one for me. It's definitely inconsistent, but yeah, heavy spread does have a recharge reduce, but then also explosive projectile has a, well, cast delay increase. Do we know exactly how much cast delay you get out of heavy spread? So, we'll go back. I think we ran out of songs. Oh my goodness. Does anyone have any cool songs they want to show us? Keep this guy alive. Same thing again, so that we can use him for heals potentially. Pretty self-explanatory, but you kick him in the back. The healer will be on this side. He'll try to heal the machine that means nothing to him. And instead he'll heal us. So that's why I always keep those guys alive. Can always be propane tanks inside the snow too. So just something to keep an eye on. So we'll go back. And I'm actually just going to quickly equip a energy orb on here to get through soft materials a little bit safer, quicker. Good enough. Sadly, we haven't seen many hearts and stuff. I think we've seen like one heart. This guy does a lot of damage. Don't want to get hit by that if we don't have to. Ambrosia. Oh yeah, we've also got pheromone. I'll drop the tablet for now. Since we've got pretty damn good damage, we'll take the ambrosia. Oh, see that trick shot that he did? God damn, that would have been on Call of Duty's top 10. Electricity from a light that doesn't even work anymore. So yeah, that's my fault. Electricity can do, I think, a random amount of damage all the way up to 170 or something, so it really is no joke. Try to get rid of whatever electricity you can. Yeah, trying to offset the recharge, the cast delay from explosive projectile can be hard. It's a lot of cast delay to add to a wand, but it's also 30 mana. To try and offset, right? It's a lot. It's a pretty expensive modifier. Oi, 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 oi. It's okay. We've got a heal up here, I'm pretty sure. And we've also got pheromone for any healers. Plus, I took that extra life just in case. There's a healer. Maybe we can coerce this young man. Hello, sir. Oh. No, 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 no. Okay. Spray him with a bit of this. Easy heal. Hustley just refuses to go down. I've got it on a 1500 recharge, so I'm golden. Yeah, heavy's weird. Heavy is strange. I'm not sure about that one. Always wash your healers, so they don't get butchered by other Hisi. If we want to wash him really quickly, we can just give him a nice little love tap above the blood. Oh, there we go, he's back to normal. Just took a few bullets to the face. That guy is not our friend. Hisi boy might also get himself into some freezing vapor. Looks like we're fine. Oh, he's got a friend down there. Sorry, buddy. You didn't last. I had big plans for you, but you've been replaced. That's fine. A little bit of damage is fine. We got a healer. Keep getting rid of any electricity we can. Let's go up. Nice. I really want to get rid of this. It's a shame that we've got Boomerang always cast. That is a pretty good indication it's going to be a good one, that shape. Yeah. This green wand, or this version that's blue, kind of looks like a cruiser from Star Wars. Pretty damn good stats, always. So we'll take that. It could be inverted. Could have, you know, a higher mana cap and a lower recharge, but it's still pretty good. Full album if you want to. Oh, thanks. Merper. Do you know if I can stack the lifetimes from Spiral Arcs by my... Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can stack the lifetimes, yeah. My heavy chainsaws, it seemed like their lifetimes are getting capped or something after the first one. It's difficult to see with chainsaws because they're invisible. But it should increase. You can test it with Luminous. Because you can actually see 2 Spiral Arcs in Luminous. But that's kind of science that I never really looked into. Maybe it does have a cap. I don't know why it would have a cap, because if you've ever used ping pong before, you can definitely stack 2 ping pongs and it will increase the lifetime even more. So that makes me think the Spiral Arc is absolutely possible. Speed helps with heavy sharp projectiles. Yeah, true. Good thinking. Let's do that. We can use the speed up to make our projectiles go further. I'm not even going to do anything with this wand right now. I'm just going to use this instead. $150 mana recharge. The reason I love this one is because it's 500. I feel like this shoots too quick. Look, we can try it out. There's no harm in trying it out. I think it's going to run out of mana too quickly and it will shoot too fast, but it's pretty good. That's not that bad. Not as bad as I thought. Got a quad here we can use instead and a bit of extra damage. Doesn't need a wrap properly, but we can fire 5 projectiles. Sweet. This is a really powerful wand. Kind of mana hungry, but it's good. What's up, boy? How you doing? You got a link for us? It's definitely porn. The gift didn't work. What happened here? What?
Eat a chip.
When I scroll down, it disappears. I don't know what happened there. Don't scroll, streamer. Oh my god, this run has already gone for way over an hour, hasn't it? I've just been talking a lot of shit. Alright, we'll do a mubbles then we'll come back. I gotta pee anyway. Plus Lumi. Here's another thing that I haven't showed many people probably before, but we do have a list of infinites. Just kidding. There we go. Which was put together by Nymphs. And yeah, Nymphs actually does a little bit of a walkthrough here, but Nymphs and Crabness, if people want to make infinites, of whatever you like, you can see basically whether or not you need to use a cast, chain cast, a reduced lifetime, an increased lifetime. Ping pong and orbital are the same. They act the same, either one of those, but for example, you can see Plasma Cutter needs 2 chain spells, an increase, 3 decrease, and 2 ping pongs to make it infinite. Obviously, you're very likely to kill yourself with something like this, but it is possible. There you go, Pyro. BBA says, so I'll just go mine Goblin D's nuts. Got him? Question mark? Thanks, BBAs. Alright. We've got so many ways to heal ourselves. And we still haven't taken our refresh or our extra heal. It's a damn good wand. I will just keep it here. We've got other ways to dig right now. Alright, let's get over to that store. Check what's in it. We're going to find out what we can do with this unstable teleportatium. Or normal teleportatium. No problem, Mr. Streamer. On 7 TV. Hell yeah. Burp, 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 burp. Oh, I thought I could go through here. Okay, we're gonna head down. Keep Healer Boy alive because we might be able to abuse him. Try not to kill him. Cool. Blow up every explosive before it blows us up. I thought I changed one, sorry. For the cause. Alright, so we've already got plasma. We don't need any of these, but there's always a store on one side of the Hisi base. Now, on either side you can dig up, because it's just soft material. Maybe I won't use that big scary wand. Try not to shoot to the right, because we might break that. So here is the hourglass. 100% spawn rate. In here it gives you a hint that if you put some blood in here, then you might get a cool prize. It's just gold. But what you can do that's even better is you can use your unstable telly. I think I shat my pants. Or normal telly or unstable telly. And then it will open up a portal. We no longer need this. That's all we needed that teleport for. What's up, Zerito? Hope you're doing well, man. Can you just dig to the spell eye room? Yes. If you have infinite black holes or luminous drill 1, you can just dig there. We've been a bit unfortunate with something to do with luminous drills. For infinite digging. More plasma. Touch of blood. Hey, there's the chainsaw. And an alpha. Extremely strong spells. Chainsaw, reducing lifetime, potentially making our one faster. Alpha literally copies any spell in the game. So this could be potentially infinite black holes. There were some other good spells there, but I can't be bothered talking about them. So hopefully we find black hole. We might be able to make this a lot faster. Gonna get rid of this guy because no doubt he'll jump back on top of us. What have we got here? Just gunpowder. You're an alpha? Thank you, sir. Keep blowing up everything before it can blow us up. Even though we've got the immunity, it's just a good mindset. Electricity, explosives. Try not to blow that up because I don't want to kill our healer. Cool. So we have 2 full hearts that we haven't used in 2 holy mountains. Now, big problem here is now that we've got to deal with Scott, much stronger than Steve. But the bonus is that we picked up, well, it always casts Grand Ascend. Pretty huge. We've got some Ambrosia. So we can just keep doing this all day. Captain America style. Just stand perfectly still and just keep shooting that guy. Saving Grace is really strong. I guess we have to take it for survivability. We're pretty strong. We got a lot of heals. Another immunity, I guess, would be nice, but for the purposes of keeping us alive, just leave. We'll just go with that. Homebringer is really good if you're trying to move something sensitive around, like one of the friends or a healer closer to you. But yeah, this always cast Ground Descent is huge. It just trivializes everything. You know, we can go anywhere we want. I think I'll take this off. Put that there. The touch of spells, basically never fire them unless they're on a trigger. They'll turn everything in a small radius into whatever material they say. So in this case, it'll kill us instantly. It would kill us normally. It does some insane amount of damage and would normally kill you, or you would lose a life. With Saving Grace, it'll take us to 1. So that is another good thing about Saving Grace. If you're trying to do touch of spell combos, you won't kill yourself. But for the purposes of a normal run, this will just kill you. All right. That's going to make our wand even stronger. Duck's also really, really freaking strong. One shot call me for sure. Man, we've got so much damage here. It's crazy. So, double explosive projectile turns any projectile in. It pushes them over that explosion radius. Where instead of doing... Something happened in the game, I don't even know why. But when a certain radius, when an explosion gets over a certain radius, it just does this default damage of 320. So if we have 320 times 4 spark bolts, with 2 of these explosive projectiles, hopefully it calculates it properly on this. Maybe I don't even need that. Yeah, 13, 12. A little bit of damage reduction because from being fired at the statue, maybe it's got projectile reduction, but pretty good. So that's just having 2 explosive projectiles on them. It makes the explosion radius big enough to do that 320 damage each. So ordinarily, just 1. And with 2, just a huge DPS increase. And we could do the same thing with Luminous Drill. But you always want to make sure that you fire on a timer or a trigger, because this combo will hurt you without explosion immunity. The other reason that putting this on a timer is because you can remove the cast delay from these two. Well, you can mitigate it at least a little bit. So what you're saying is that there are some things out there that can kill you. Nice. First and foremost, test anything on a timer first. Or a trigger. Test it away from you. This is a unique situation. This is something that's just strange in Noita, and I don't know why it is. Making explosion radius bigger than some amount, turning the base damage into 320. That's just Noita being Noita. Holy crap, that's a good wand. What about this? What about this? It's on 2. Well, we can also do this. Because there's so much mana recharge that double explosive projectile doesn't mean anything. Problem is the capacity on this wand. However, there are still some enemies, like mechanical enemies, that are just straight up explosion immune, so this is actually not the best one that we can make. What I would prefer to do is put the heavy on here as well. Maybe to make it a higher chance of these spark bolts hitting the enemy, I'll keep the orbital on there. Big damage. Also Dux. We can also get infinite ducks if we want to, and with the alpha. Infinite touch-up spells with the alpha. Infinite heals with the alpha. We'd be really hard pressed to kill ourselves. Be quite interesting if we pulled that off. Still no teleports. I'm a shout. Be right back. 1 hour. Holy moly. Oh. I'll take this double instead of a spread because spreaders. So really good wand. Great for shooting quickly. Even something as simple as this. The chainsaw reducing cast delay and recharge time. Hitting the double. The double fires the spark bolt. It wraps around and starts the wand again. The next thing that the double can grab is the chainsaw. So it's another recharge, reduce, and cast delay reduction. So we're shooting as fast as the chainsaw can fire. We can increase our DPS with, say, a quad. No, a triple, because we've only got 6 slots. Oh no, a quad would do it. Ooh, is that because... Okay, too many projectiles. Right, because we've got a quad. 1, 2, 3. What's the next one? Next one is a chainsaw. So, even just this, without any damage increase, will kill like most enemies, you know, really quickly. We're shooting 3 projectiles every frame. Every single frame. So 60 times a second. Gorgeous. The only reason that I don't like doing that, or the main reason I should say, is because it will... Something happens. I'm not sure if they've attended to this at all, NOLA, but when you shoot spells so quickly, it sort of will crash your game eventually. It's like it has to like... the game starts to lag because you're just doing so much at once. So I try to avoid really fast shooting ones a lot of the time. However, sometimes it's the only bet. It's the only way to go. Mudpunk says, take notes, people. I'm a genius when it comes to wand building. Here's another tip. Put explosive modifier and healing bolt with... Yeah, don't put any damage on the healing bolt. Oh yeah, the other thing about double explosive projectile is that the explosion won't hit you. Explosive projectile on the lumen drill for some reason hurts the player. We do have explosion immunity anyway, but just something. You know what? I will make wand out of this. I just realized we need some digging. Where those oh no, I dropped them. Did I drop them? Energy orbs go. Ah, whatever, we got some more. Just one. Yeah, pretty good digging. Don't need electricity. Oh, right. Never mind. We've got this. No, you know what? I like this. It shoots faster, it's prettier. Sweet. Always cast ground to sand. You can just walk to the boss if you want to. That is a possibility. Could you double dip on a chainsaw by putting alpha in the mix? You can put an alpha in the mix. So if I wanted to, I could do this with a black hole at the start, and then I would be rapid firing black holes everywhere. The problem becomes that it might be too mana intense, but hopefully we find a black hole. I think we can make a really fast shooting black hole wand. I'm still just keeping these for steel. Be nice if we could find teleport too. I'll take this reduced lifetime, but I won't explain why. Depends what we find. Because it's going to be too much for people's... Your heads will explode. Bum, 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 bum. Gee, sheep, Dr. Pepper. Alright, we're gonna go see the dragon because I'm pretty sure we're gonna delete him. Short homing, holy crap. Alright, so we won't use this one, but we can give people an idea of how insane Plasma Cutter is, even though we've already got pretty crazy damage. So just short homing and one plasma cutter would be enough to murder most of the enemies in the game. Plasma cutter or any plasma does way more damage the closer it is to the center of the enemy. So with homing it becomes pretty much you don't need to worry about. I can't think of many enemies that you would have trouble killing with just plasma and short homing. So once we start getting into enemies like the projectile immune in like say like power plant, that's when it's a bit of a different story, but that's extremely rare. Got a spider there. Even stronger with the wow. With the heavy. So what's the problem here? The problem is that, of course, that it can hit the player. So we just need to always make sure that we keep distance between us and the plasma cutter. So we'll stick to wider areas. We try not to fire anywhere near us. Plasma cutter is very short. It's definitely the best plasma. Got much less chance of hitting ourselves. What about the worst enemy of all? Self-doubt. Can't do anything about self-doubt. So pretty strong. I don't think we need it. We've got a really good setup already. I put acid on there accidentally. It wouldn't have killed us, but it would have come close. I don't need the speed up. Do I? We want the explosions to go off near the enemy, that's why we put the orbiting arc there. Alright. Start trying to finish the run. Move on to something else. I've only got a... Whoa. I've only got a... Oh no, I've got... How much time do I have? An hour and a half. Don't have to go all the way to the center. If you're worried about the dragon, you can just do this little section right here and we'll wake him up. Whoa. So most of our damage is coming from the heavy, not the actual explosive projectiles. It's okay. It's not a we don't really need that one. Can pheromone it for a bit of extra money, but we don't really need it.
Eat a chip.
Chippy time already? What's up, boys? I'm gonna grab the heal from the Holy Mountain before and we're gonna move on. Alright. I can make this more sustainable. And I can make it so that we shoot further. Actually, maybe this is the better broomstick wand. Alright. We'll keep it like that. Grab some water. We can pick up a lot more hearts because we've got the item radar, but 300 is pretty good. I'm not going for a god run here. Oh no. Help me. Oh, I wasn't meant to take that one, but I got buffered. It's not my fault. Surprisingly, no teleport. Cool. So in here we've got a lot of mechanical enemies, so the explosive projectile won't be anywhere near as effective, so the damage is going to come from orbiting arc and heavy shot. Welcome to the start of the stream, everyone. Get that shit out of here. What does that mean that the gods are angry with you? Every time you break out of Holy Mountain, the gods will say they're angry with you. After that, Steve will start spawning here. So we've taken it a lot further than that, obviously. By spawning Scott. So the gods will just keep reminding you that they don't like you by saying the gods are angry. Try to convert whatever toxic we can because it's just kind of annoying. Tons of really great spells here. Spells and wands. Pretty good place to pick up. Pretty good place to pick up hearts. But we're looking pretty good. I think I'm just gonna go straight through. Just waiting for all the acid to chill out. Can drink this guy's blood. Worms ate the portal. I've been electrocuted, but I have too much HP for it to matter. They're really, really mad at us. Plasma, pretty good. Everything else, pretty average. The gods are very angry now. Very angry. Here is a lot more fleshy enemies, so the explosion is pretty effective. We've got all seeing eye for a little bit, so that's even better. Just avoid a lot of these ghosts. This guy is explosion immune, so we won't even bother shooting him. It's really about picking your battles in this area. A lot of these enemies you just don't even need to worry about. Don't want to get blinded. Don't think we can get through there? Can get through here. Alright, that's fine. We're just going to use our plasma cutter to get through the brickwork. We'll make our own way. We're basically already at the end here. At this point, you really want to make sure that you would think that you would have either plasma cutter or luminous drill or black holes to get through. Now our Colmy only has one orb, so it's very weak. We don't really need any of those. Freeze field is okay. I don't have teleport to get out, so it's kind of annoying. Guess I can take invisibly. Invisiblim. That'll do. And I guess we can make a nice potent wand of Dux with acid. And the extra projectiles here just for fun. Doubly explosive Dux with a heavy shard acid. It's going to be fun. Problem is that he's going to have that one orb, so he's got that shield that absorbs incoming attacks, sorry. But our projectile is going to have acid on it. So even just the acid touching the outside of him melted him pretty quickly. Very strong. And that's good. So we could have just walked up to him and plasmed his face. That would have killed him. We could have touch of blood. That would have killed him instantly if he hit the center of his body. Even just this one would have been fine because he's pretty low HP, to be honest. Ducks are immune to acid, yeah. At least while they persist as a projectile. So once they turn into just normal ducks, obviously you can melt with acid just fine. GG's. Could have used more acid? True, true, true. Nukes are okay. To be quite honest, nukes actually don't do that much damage to Colmy. A decoy the same. This is what we can do when we want to know about stuff like this. We can turn on... We can turn on Goki's Spell Lab, which is available in the in Steam in the workshop, and we can test out whatever we want. Tons and tons of great information in Spell Lab. If people want to test on these dummies, so these dummies will give you great information about damage. They don't disappear. They don't have a damage cap. They'll give you real, reliable, different kinds of damage. I kind of forget what all the numbers mean, but the big thing is that it won't disintegrate, right? So you can test like whatever you want on it. So what do we want to know about? You can also turn on no death if you're worried about killing yourself. Just this one right here. We want to know about decoy with acid. Summon decoy. We can put a wand in the game that can spawn everything. Put this. Go back to spells, go to modifiers, acid. And let's go. No, those definitely take damage. Yeah. Deer is way scarier than ducks, IMO. Even if you just get two deer that run into each other, they'll blow up. Explosive box acid? Yeah, that's a thing. I don't think that'll last very long. That's a build though. Projectiles, explosive box. This is in alphabetical order. Is it called summon? It is. Summon explosive box. I accidentally hit and just be careful, don't disable projectiles on Goki's things. Yeah, that blows up pretty quickly. It's a little inconsistent, but... Where's the dukes? Yeah. Oh, that did blow up kind of quickly. No. They're acid immune. Yeah. Ducks are great, man. Ducks are so strong. Ducks have a period where they do a piercing attack, which means that they hit every second frame. So as long as they persist on the enemy, they're doing 40 damage, 40 projectile damage plus 60 explosive damage plus 30 fire damage. So homing. Right way around. $17.20. 320, 324. What if I put... They definitely hit more than once, so... They explode quite quickly and they come in contact with something. Let's try this. Oh, me goodness. Okay, so yeah, so they are supposed to explode if they actually hit an enemy. There's like a tiny little period where the enemy doesn't get hit by the center of the duck and it will persist. Does a lot of damage, especially against Colmy. Water Trail can be funny on a summon box. Water Trail. Oh. It got hit by a duck. Is it still leaking water? It's trying to. What about deer? Deer don't give a shit. What if I go into a deer? Do you blow up? They will drown themselves though. Oh my goodness, their only existence is to come into life and drown themselves. Oh my god. Oh. There's laws that discourage that.
Drinky, drinky.
But if you want to, Goki did put a bunch of lessons in here to try and help people to understand damage types properly and projectiles. Whoops. And they get more complicated as they go along. So Spell Lab is really, 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 really good for understanding things you don't know about the game. Which one was that? Was that a drink? Yes. Need to go finish the lesson. Those are fun, but I couldn't do some of them. I wasn't letting them open. It wasn't letting them open the lesson. They can be difficult because it really wants you to... Like this one I think is just... What is this one? Just do 50 damage. It really wants you to use the right spells. I think a lot of them just come down to the fact that, like, for example, Spitterbolt is just better than everything else. When you find those early game, they're really good.